Final Fantasy VII Rebirth may first seem like any other open-world game, but upon taking a closer look, one can see that Rebirth is way more than just that. It is an immersive, open-world experience unlike any other. So you may be wondering yourself, why? Well, for starters, every single aspect of the game's open world, from the wide variety of minigames, the main missions to the side missions, the different ways you can take to traverse the map, these spectacular views that you witness when you enter each of these 6 worlds, the crazy crap that Chadley makes you frickin' do, they're all great. The devs themselves have mentioned that they have taken the time and energy to make the entirety of the game across the board uniformly great. Now, if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. That being said, there is one thing that Square Enix has done that goes way, way above and beyond that makes Rebirth a complete standout over most other open world games. Somehow, against all odds, Square Enix was able to deliver the best integrations between story and open world game design that I've ever seen. Now, spoiler alert to all the parts of the story until chapter 12, so go play the game till that point if you haven't. Also, please go support this channel by leaving a like, clicking subscribe, and clicking that freaking bell button. It really helps to get the word across on why this game is freaking amazing and that more people should buy it. Also, I talk about other games as well, so please stay tuned. Now, if it isn't clear to you yet, the core principle that Rebirth has over other open-world games is that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a game about character relationships. The game blends story and gameplay very seamlessly. Naoki Hamaguchi, the game's director, actually took it upon himself and his team to create gameplay that directly illustrates the themes of Tetsura Nomura's absolutely crazy script. Hamaguchi has done everything to make every inch of the game feel that way, and of course that includes elements of gameplay. For example, almost every single location can be traced to a main character in your party. But come on now, I didn't come here to talk about just locations, right? If you saw the thumbnail to this video, you know you're all about the romance system. Now, call me crazy, but I think that the game's romance or relationship system is the centerpiece cog that seamlessly connects Rebirth's characters with its addictive gameplay loop. Now, this romance system is what the devs came up with so that the bonds of relationship affect gameplay. It's the logical conclusion of their design philosophy of honoring the story and the characters. Now, YouTuber Nakarino Jackarino made a video critiquing the outdated open-world game design for Red Dead Redemption 2. Yoga Ball Man implies that RDR2 has 2 games, one amazing free-roaming open-world game where Arthur Morgan, the protagonist, can do whatever he wants, and one other game that restricts you from doing all these things in favor for more cinematic gameplay. And in these cases, there aren't a lot of choices that you can make. The lack of cohesion between these two paradigms making the game is eminent, as Nakarino Jackarino explains in this video. Now, Rebirth could have easily fallen into that trap, but it didn't, because the game's romance system significantly connects Rebirth's story to its gameplay to create a rich and inviting open world. This romance system is fantastic. It's one of the most impressive romance systems I've ever played, hands down. Hell, I'd even say that the romance system in this game beats the romance systems of other story-based games that have romance as a primary plot element. It's that good. Now, to give you some context, FF7's original romance system involved only a bunch of dialogue options between Cloud and other party members. So it's basically a choice of A, B, or C. So the motivation is to choose the correct choice so that you can go on a date with the person who you like the most. Now, Rebirth actually takes this concept from the original, but it does it a whole lot better. I'll dive into the details later, but one thing that makes Rebirth's romance system stand out is the L1 button. Now, the L1 button allows you to see which one of your boo-boos loves you the most. This allows for a greater sense of transparency. So the game devs tell you straight up that when this romance system ends, which is at chapter 12, the person who you have the best relationship with will go on a date with you, and if you have a good enough relationship with him or her or whatever frickin' gender Kate Sith is, you actually get an extra intimate ending. So anyways, here are the ways FF7 Rebirth's romance system makes its world stand out over the rest. Obviously, the first thing is that dialogue choices now matter. Now, this is de facto in every choice-based game, basically choosing between option A and option B. So like I mentioned before, it's best to get a gauge of each character's personality so that you know the best answer that'll make your comrade happy. This lets you get to know them a little bit better, making for more immersion. Sometimes the dialogue options that you get have virtually no difference.
What looks like a Gungaga mushroom may in fact be poisonous. Which of these do you think they are?
Huh?
Because of the romance system, story beats also matter. These are major choices within the game's story that can favor one character over another. For example, in Chapter 6, you have to choose who to fight with at the beach, Tifa and Barret, or Red and Aerith. Choosing one pair will raise their relationship level with you. Another example is in Chapter 7. You get to choose whether to change the canyon railway's tracks to a safer path that favors Yuffie, or a more adrenaline-fueled path favoring Barret. And like the YOLO imbecile that I am, I sent Yuffie to the Shadow Realm. One major effect that the romance system has to the game is in the game's side quests. So in every single side quest, a main character from your party actually tags along with you. This adds an entirely new layer to side quests. Completing them not only raises your relationship level with the party member involved, but also allows you to interact more with your party member, so you can get to know your party members even better than before. Tifa, for example, is someone who's afraid of the unknown, someone who's very compassionate. There's that side of her that likes to take it slow and have fun as well with the Ribbit side quest. Barret in the dog side quest lets you know that he's a very awesome family man who loves his daughter Marlene so much. He's also got a heart of gold even though he's rough around the edges. Aerith is a very gracious character that likes helping people around. She a waifu. Red hates animal cruelty.
Grandma Kazra's famous grilled chicken. Say goodnight, Pipperly.
I absolutely don't know about Yuffie though, her side quests are pretty random. Oh wait, she's random! So playing all these side quests actually enriches your view of these characters. It's the perfect utilization of party members within side quests. So the romance system does pose some positive trickle effects in that it makes us be motivated to do side quests even more. This is what overall made the open world even greater for me. Now finally, synergy abilities also matter in this romance system. If someone told me that the spear grid influences whether you can get a date with Red, or Barret, or Tifa, or Aerith, I would have told you that you were lying. But it so stands that the more synergy abilities you do between Cloud and another party member, the better your relationship level will be. The incentive is so you can use other characters in combat and fight more as them, and familiarize yourself with the different ways of how they fight. Synergy abilities make combat more immersive because you switch between different characters and you really utilize your party more. You also have that special feeling of achievement when you use a synergy ability to defeat a boss or a hunt. It strengthens your sense of camaraderie that, mind you, is already very strong in this game even without synergy abilities. Now, you know I'm a Tifa stan, and because of that, I played with every might of my living body that I would max out Tifa's relationship level. Now, there is a completionist side of me that wants to do all the side quests, but every single opportunity that I got to get Tifa as my golden saucer date, I did. And I do that by playing through the game's open world, turning it from already awesome to even more awesome. I rizzed up my Cloud in dialogue choices. I spammed the synergy abilities button between Cloud and Tifa, even though I clearly could have done so with Cloud and any other person. And maybe I died a couple of times, but who cares? I chose to side with Tifa in major story beats every freaking time. I did all the Tifa side quests that I could find before the Golden Saucer date, even the one that made me play as Aerith alone in the battle arena facing 2 freaking fireballs, which I played for 2 hours straight, but I did it anyway! And ladies and gents, I speedran through Chapter 12 to see who the game was going to pair me with as my Golden Saucer date. And lo and behold, I got Tifa. Cloud and Tifa are together on my screen right now. And I'm watching them go on the Ferris wheel. And they bloody freaking kissed! This is crazy. After 80 hours of effort, we finally got these 2 clumps of pixels to touch lips. Oh my god, I clearly need a life. In summary, I super enjoy the romance system, and I think it is a key feature that made the game even more immersive. Now, one can argue that the game is both a remake and a sequel, and that gives it an immediate edge in being able to blend story and world seamlessly together. But rather than pointing how unfair it is that Square Enix was dealt with good hands, developers should instead see Rebirth as a case study of a peak performance open world RPG. That this game is merely a stepping stone for a more difficult problem, which is how do we craft a new and original open world game that blends fresh story and characters with creative game mechanics reflecting that. We know that creating new characters to fall in love with is something that we've done before. It's something achievable. Let's not let originality die that easily. Rather than seeing this game as an anomalous blip, see Rebirth as a challenge, a pinnacle standard for developers for an awesome gaming experience. This game is certainly a great example of an amazing AAA game. Now, I know I'm probably being an idealist here with my standards, even though they're already pretty low to be honest, but one can only dream of more games like FF7 Rebirth, where something as minute as a romance system ripples amazingly to gameplay, making an immersive masterpiece. And so with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, let's dive.